Hello and welcome to the weekly trade review live stream, everyone. I believe we are live. I have got the green light from the live streaming dashboard. I'm just making some little checks right now. Yep, it is all looking good to go. Cool, guys. I guess we'll go ahead and get started then. So welcome to the live stream, everyone. In this weekly trade review that happens every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In a second, I'm going to be reviewing the topics we're going to cover today. But if you saw the thumbnail and the title, in this weekly trade review, we're going to be focusing on basically one topic, and on all the trades we review, I want you guys to constantly think about this topic, and that is don't trade chop, wait for volume, and let the trade come to you. I know those kind of like three topics, but they all kind of come together into one thing, and that is basically our number 3 rule. Chop is not a indicator, and when the market is just kind of all over the place, there's no clear entry and exit, and there's not a lot of volume, so it's kind of hard to get an entry and exit, and you're kind of chasing positions, and there's no perfect entry. You need to just wait a little bit, let the trade come to you, and then you're going to find a perfect entry in a little bit. And the trades of this week perfectly kind of highlight all of those things. Actually, I think we had one loser this week, and that trade is just because I wasn't trading, and like 2 days went by, and I tried to get in when it was a little choppy. There wasn't a lot of volume, and I think that was my only loser for this week. I'm gonna check that in a second, but yeah. So just keep those 3 points in mind for this live stream. 1 second, a little sip of water. And for anyone that doesn't know, my name is Alex Winkler. I am a full-time trader of over 6 years now, and I originally started trading equities back in New York City when I lived in New York City, and then I was trading a bit on the road, and now I'm in Berlin and also kind of back and forth between Florida, Berlin, and just a few other places. And yeah, I do all my trading just kind of on the road, and ideally here at my trade desk in Berlin. So and as of recently, I have become a mentor as well to over 100 students in my trading course and in the Discord live trading chat room. So that's really cool. If you're not part of the live trading chat room, I definitely recommend checking it out. This weekend or last week, we had a lot of cool trading conversations, especially about upcoming trades, talking about upcoming setups and all that fun stuff. Some of the housekeeping that we're going to talk about is just, or some of the video topics is, first of all, some housekeeping, which we don't really have too much. So I think right after this, I'm going to just dive into the second point, which is the tradejournal.co stats overview, which is always kind of fun to do. Then we're going to talk about all the trades, the top trades, biggest lessons of last week. And we're going to finishing up by reviewing the Bitcoin and altcoin charts. And actually, we'll also finish up from there with a simple Q&A session. So if you have any questions, feel free to post in the top chat. And remember, if you can't make these live streams, message me in the Discord private trading chat room or via email at alex@enzo.com before the chat, and I'll make sure to answer your questions during the live stream. Okay, 1 second. Let me dim this light a little bit. Okay, nice. It's a little less invasive. And plus, now we're going to go over to the trading chart. Cool, so it doesn't need to be that bright anyway. Let me move this over to the side. Okay, cool. I think you guys should be able to see my screen right now. Yeah. All right, everything is looking good to go. So this week was pretty sweet. We beat $2,000, which is the first time for this month. First time for this year, 2019, we went over $2,000. So it was a pretty sweet week. Most of the reason behind that, I would say, is, well, one, we had a lot of volume in the week, in this last week. I was also able to close out 2 swing trades. But in general, I'm just trading with a larger position size. I had many weeks where I had similar percentage returns, but now, we started at $5,000, and now we're roughly at about $20,000. So this was a nice over 10% return on our account last week. So it was a very beautiful week. And just in general, profit-wise, we're trading with a larger account size. So hopefully we'll be hitting $2,000 weeks more often, and maybe eventually even $3,000 weeks as our account size keeps growing. Also, as of late, I've been trading with larger position sizes as well. So yeah, so let's actually talk about that. Remember, you can you can get all this information on the blog post. And that is in the video description below. You can check out all these images of the chart and all that fun stuff. But in this video, I'm going to be using the exact chart so you guys can kind of see it a bit more close up. I think it zooms in a bit more. Let me try to zoom in even more. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see that. So this was last week right here. And let me get this. Okay, so so we started off this week. There wasn't really any trades on a Sunday. Over the weekend, I kind of took off and was relaxing a little bit. But Monday, we had a super hot start of the week. The market crashed very, very nicely. I love when the market crashes. For some reason, I trade much better when the market is going down, so I really like that. I also closed out an XRP swing trade because the market spiked up. And that is when, in that spike, we closed out our swing trade. We had an ideal exit order placed ahead of time. We'll talk about that trade in a little bit. And I also traded these two really nice ones on the way down. The first, both two trades, over roughly $250 per trade. So that was really sweet. Tuesday, we had one loss and then one profit. And then Thursday, we had a super, super awesome day. This was actually kind of a crazy day because I didn't trade all day till I would say, I think it was like 5 or something like that p.m. I'll have to check again. But basically, I went all day without trading, and then finally, because there was just so much consolidation in the market, and then finally, I noticed that we were kind of hitting some tweaking, some rough patches in the market, and we are kind of having a lot of volatility spikes, and I thought we were going to have a fake out where it was a false breakout to the upside and then it crashed, and that's exactly what happened. And there was just dip buying madness. So these will be 3 fun trades to review. And then Saturday we closed out another swing trade, so we ended the week with $2,000, $2,280 profit. Most of that profit was day trading. $1,500 of that was day trading, and then $700 of that was the swing trades we closed out. So let's go ahead and make a new week. Actually, before we go ahead and make a new week, let me delete that. And then you can kind of see the chart here because it's going to populate the chart if we make a new week. And yeah, we've had a pretty nice continuous upsloping chart. We have no major, I would say, pullbacks. Maybe here was a bit of a pullback, lost a couple $100 in a trade there, right here. But, no massive trades. Safety first, that's my rule number 1. And we like to cut our profits or cut our losses about 1%. 1.5% is typically what I'm looking for an exit, and at 3% I'll cut my trade no matter what. Most of the time it doesn't get to the 3% because there is a bit of consolidation at 1.5%, and then a lot of times the market will come back up, and that is when I get out for a small scratch or something like that. So I usually don't let it get to the 3% loss point. Okay, so now let's copy this trade. Okay, so here we're just setting up the new week, adding the dates, adding the deleting all the old data, and then going here and updating this. So it is now, yesterday was the 2nd of June. Cool, so this chart is looking ready to go. Now if you go back to the chart pattern right here, you can see that we kind of flatlined a little bit, and this will be the new week. And that is, I believe, everything to talk about. I think the day trades are looking pretty good too right now. Our winning ratio is going up a little bit. We're at 62.38%. And yeah, so I'll talk about this a little bit more later in the video. I'm also going to try to speed up. It's already 10 minutes. I'm a little slow today, just in terms of, I noticed that we're already at 10 minutes. I should be a little further. So I'll try to speed through this as quick as possible. Ideally, keep it between 30 and 45 minutes. most of the time I do kind of go to that 45-minute level. So, you know, if you're watching this on playback, feel free to speed it up ×2 speed or something like that. I'll try to talk as clear as possible, so when you speed it up, it still makes sense. All right, so let's dive into... Oh yeah, also, I'm actually watching the chart quite closely. I'm looking for a potential double bottom right here, so we might do a little entry right around this point right here. So maybe that's going to happen during this live stream. Ideally not though. I don't like trading during a live stream for some reason. It's just too much for me to focus on, but who knows? It might happen. It's happened before, so we'll see. To get the week started though, the first trade I want to talk about is Ethereum. It was the first trade of the week. The entry was a bit aggressive, but it was a nice bull trend, and that's why. So let me talk about this trade a little bit. It was a nice 1.82% gainer, a stair stepper long, and let's actually just go right ahead to the chart pattern so you guys can kind of see this. I don't have a larger time frame shot, but basically we're in an upward slope right here, and then we hit this support trend line. We did break it very quickly, but this break was very fast and we came right back up. So luckily I didn't have to get out of this trade. If we broke this and we kind of came up here and then started consolidating and started working our way down, I would have exited the trade right around here. But since we popped right back up over the support line or this trend line, that's a very bullish indicator, and I kept it. And so we kind of had our first stair potentially forming right here. We had a breakout over the moving average, which is always a nice thing. And then we had this nice double support area come in here, very bullish. And I actually had my limit order set above 275. It was like 275.5 or something like that. So this was almost a perfect exit, but we missed that little spike up here. And then I just kind of got out when I noticed we didn't have this, when I didn't get the exit. And I kind of just got out during this consolidation right here, which ended up being a little too early, but that's fine. So yeah, that was a nice little way to start the week, little support line bounce. This is when things got really exciting, and this is the day trade. I did not get this one on actually wait, did I? No, I did not get this one on camera. I got another one on video, and I'm going to post a link to that trade in this video because it was super sweet. Actually, I think it was one of the trades right around here. It was cool. I got the whole trade on camera, and I think it was my last video upload. So if you have not checked that out already, check out the last video I uploaded. It's a really, really sweet live stream of one of these trades. Or not live stream, but I just captured the trade live. Okay, so this one was a support line bounce. We had a massive crash after a fake out. Here again, 2% profit. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for between 2 and 3% to take my profit on all of my day trades. I like to be in and out of these day trades very quickly, because a lot of times, the trade will be really nice. You'll be up 2 or 3%, sometimes even 4%. And then before you know it, the trade is a loss. You're down 2 or 3%. So you want to take your profits when you have them. Yes, a lot of time I do miss a lot of upside. Sometimes the trade goes to 6% or 7% or 9%, but that is not part of these day trades. I like to take my profits consistently, and that is what day trading is all about. My swing trades, however, they are much more relaxed, and I oftentimes take my profit way slower. You can see my average time to take profits on my swing trades based on my statistics is about 11.31% is usually when I take my profits. Sometimes they go up to 20%. Here I took profits on my last trade around 7%. This one could have actually been much better, but I it just missed my ideal exit order, and then I kind of got out when the market was crashing a little bit. Sorry, let me get back on topic. There were so many fun trades last week, and just last week was just a really good time. So this trade, we were crashing, and then I saw there was a huge amount of support around this 111 area, but on the way down, we just had so many buyers coming in, and I was a little nervous I was going to miss the bottom, and I got in way too aggressively, and I had to ride this about like 1.8% down. So this was a little sketchy near this area, but what helped what actually helped a lot was I averaged into this position, not as good as I should have. I bought my first amount around this $114 level, and then I waited till it came down to 112, and then I entered my second position. So my average was much lowered because I didn't fill out my whole position in the beginning. This was really nice. Anyway, I kind of noticed that this was a big breakout zone because, we retested this area, retested, rejected. Eventually we broke out of this area and we continue this upwards trend. So usually where there is former resistance, former support is going to be eventually flip side, new resistance, new support. So I thought there's going to be a decent amount of resistance around this $116 area. So all I did was make an ideal exit limit order ahead of time, and I got out of this trade in one of the spikes. So that was a very cool exit on this trade. The next trade I want to talk about is actually a swing trade with XRP. This was a support line bounce again. I just do so many support line bounces because they're way more easy to read than any other chart pattern. I have a whole entire video that talks about this trade, my swing trade. So if you have not checked out the swing trading video, it's I think the last 2 or 3 uploads. Definitely check it out. And in that video, I actually talk about, I draw this white line, and this white line I draw when the price is right around here. So it's kind of a cool little prediction. And right now the price even went up much more and did a bunch of kind of choppy movements around this area. So I could have been a little bit more aggressive on my exit, but I got out almost at a perfect time. And this one, basically, we had a big breakout here, the support held again, and then when we had this bounce here on this descending trend line, I thought we might have a big breakout on this descending triangle to kind of continue the upwards momentum, and that's exactly what happened. I could have probably waited for a better entry here, but you don't really know what's going to happen. I thought the price was going to hold its highs a bit more, but it actually came crashing down. So a lot of times when I make my alerts in the Discord private trading chat room, there is always a time to get a second entry, because what I always say is my first entry is never the best entry, and this is actually a classic trade to see that. So yeah, kind of a cool example here. And the reason there is an X here and a check mark here is because of this trade, I just simply I had my ideal exit order, and the price spiked up, executed, I don't remember the exact amount, I had like around 50,000 XRP, and it executed about 40,000, and then came back here, and I was a little nervous we weren't going to have a double top or breakout from this level, so I moved my order down here and I got executed fully the second time, but it was pretty cool. So my average was very much closer to this 0.45 level, but that's kind of why there's 2 exit marks right here, so pretty sweet. I think that's enough about this one. I'm just going to kind of move along here. You guys can check all these trades out on your own time, so I don't want to spend too much time on any specific trade, but if you guys have any questions, just feel free to leave a comment in the chat room or the YouTube live stream chat, or if you're watching this on postback, obviously leave a comment below. So this is the trade, a stair stepper again, that I thought I was going to be going for, that just didn't really work out. It was overall a scratch, 0.3% loss P&L, which really isn't that bad. But the reason the P&L dollar amount was much higher is, one, the position size was $16,000. And check out these fees. These Coinbase fees are just not okay. I'm going to be looking a lot more into how to reduce my fees besides just increasing my volume with the exchange, because if you increase your volume, obviously you pay lower fees, right? Let me show you guys that a little bit. So my volume here is 859,000 the last 30 days. I paid about $859 in fees in the last 30 days. So it's just, these fees are just really ridiculous. I mean, that's like a whole 1K week, profit week, right? Just gone. So the fees are really just not okay. And if you go over here to fees, you can see I'm right now in this bracket. But if I trade just a little bit more, I'm going to be breaking $1 million in volume, and then I'm going to be paying a little bit less. I'm going to save 20% in my fees. But 20% will only save me about a little under $200 a week, or a month, so it's not really that big of a difference. I would much rather just pay $0 in fees, or like, I don't know, $15 per trade. But this is just really kind of ridiculous at this point when it comes to the trading fees. It's just too much. $32 for an entry and exit is just way too much. So Coinbase, when there's a competitor with lower fees, I'm going to be going over to them right away because I really don't like your fees. Anyway, let's talk about this trade a little bit. And this was a stair stepper I was hoping for. The reason I called it a stair stepper is actually, you know what, I forgot entirely. Okay, so it makes more sense in the longer term. And the reason I did this one on the longer term is because we had a three time or maybe even a 4 time support line bounce here. And what I was looking at was a first stair to form. I kind of got overly aggressive, and I was thinking that this might be a first stair, then a second stair, and I was looking to sell into this breakout. See how we had a kind of a little fake out right here? And I wanted to sell near this area right here, this former shoulder. And yeah, we didn't really get that. So this was more or less a scratch. The reason, remember, this video is all about not trading chop, not trading low volume, and that's exactly what I did on this trade. Low volume all throughout this. This is just very choppy. We kind of have a general ascending channel, and so maybe if I entered some trades in these support areas and then kind of sold in these resistance areas, it would have been much better. But I was looking to trade a breakout, and what I actually did was I went long during a fake out, and just not really a trade I should have took. So keep that in mind. I think the next trade is exactly a trade that was much better. But actually, it was a good thing that I got out here. I mean, when the trade was no longer going my way, right, I was trying to trade a breakout, and that's not what we got. And so I eventually got out of this trade. If I didn't get out of this trade, look actually what happened here. We had a huge crash here. So it was really good that I got out of that trade. And then because I got out of this trade, it paved way for the next trade, this one, which was a support line bounce, 1% profit, $151 profit with $36 in trading fees. So this is more of like a $200 profit before commission. But check this one out. So I saved this whole downwards kind of trend right here. I got out ahead of time. If I didn't do that, right, I would have took a 3-4% loss right around here. So it was really good that I got out ahead of time. The trade was no longer going my way, and I simply just got out, right? It's that simple. Plus, now I was able to wait for a good position over here, and when we had this second support line bounce, I entered the trade, and then I got out in this nice little bounce area. So this was a really sweet trade. I could have held this one a lot longer, and it did break out again, and we went over to, I think, $118. So I definitely could have held this trade, but I don't know. I didn't like how much downside potential there was. I knew you know, we could have one of these red candles again, and I wasn't really feeling too aggressive. So why did I post this one? And oh yeah, I posted this one here because we just had a massive wall of sellers coming in. I didn't really like that, so kind of is an example of why I got out a little bit more. Yes, and these were the ideal exit orders that I just kind of placed ahead of time that were filled, and I quickly took the screenshot right when it happened. So this is actually the trade I made a video for, and you know what? I'm gonna quickly make a post about this, or I'm gonna update this so you guys can always find it. 1 second. This will be very quickly. This will happen very quickly. I just don't want you guys to forget about this video because there's a lot to learn from this one. So yeah, so if you want to check it out, it's this $500 in less than 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and copy link location. I think that should be fine. And then I'm going to post the video here. I'll probably just go ahead and post this, maybe just right under the title. I want you guys to kind of, there's just a lot of good learning lessons, and I don't want to forget about this video. So I'm going to attach it right now. We don't need the time. Let's embed that. Sweet. Okay, so my internet isn't too slow. I was able to do that. So definitely, I recommend checking that trade out. It was very quick, and I think that was the beauty behind it. I didn't trade the whole time before it, and I think I went a day or something like that without trading because there's just a lot of chop in the market, and there was no really good setups. And eventually, I let the price come to me. I just completely waited for a big crack, a lot of volume to show up, and that's when I entered this trade. So actually, if we start with the 2-hour screen, it'll be much easier. Or no, this is a 1 minute, but if we come down here, oh, you know what, actually, yeah, okay, so this is a 5 minute. So you can see here just a lot of chop, right? Sometimes we're above the moving average, sometimes we're below it, but you don't really know, there's no clear pattern, right? But here, this blue line is a big support line. And that is what I was waiting for a potential swing position or a potential day trade. I entered as a day trade, and I got really just a very nice trade on this one. And the risk was it was under 2%, so it was really nice. So what happened was we just had a general crash down here, and I entered when a lot of buyers were showing, and we already broke through a lot of resistance levels. I was also looking for a crash about 9 to 10% because a lot of times we see bounces around those areas. Sometimes we have continued crashes, but a lot of times we'll just have a short bounce. And this one was a bounce that wasn't short. It held very nice, and then we actually eventually broke to the upside again. But yeah, overall it was very quick, and I got out during a huge spike. And then the price crashed again. So that was an ideal exit. I'm not going to talk too much more about this trade, but yeah, definitely go ahead and watch that video and you'll see for yourself. It was pretty sweet. The next trade, I think, kind of is already illustrated a little bit. Again, a support line bounce. We had a lot of support here, and then I was looking to basically do the same trade again, a little support here and then sell here. However, I entered this trade too early, and then I kind of spooked myself, and I just kind of got out for a small scratch, $80. So nothing too great on this trade. The next trade was again really exciting, very similar setup. In this, I think this 5-minute chart really illustrates it a little bit better. So again, this was the first trade I got on video. This was the bounce that really didn't hold very well, and that's why I got out. We didn't bounce as strong as I wanted it to, and then we crashed again. So imagine I didn't get out for here. So this is all about, when it comes to day trading, you're not swing trading, you're not investing, you're aiming very small and then taking your profits very quickly. And that's why a lot of these trades, you wonder, why did you get out here? I got out here because the bounce wasn't strong, right? If the bounce is weak, it means there's too much resistance, and you just want to get out of that trade. And that's exactly what happened here. And then when we crashed, I knew there was good potential that, again, support is going to come in where we had a former support in the past, and that's exactly what happened. This trade, my entry was much better than this one, and then it was very quick again. I just got out right away. Pretty clean profit, $432 profit. This trade actually brought me over $1,000 for the day, so that was really sweet. Got so many trades. Oh, what's up, Shirley? AJRD. I actually don't know what that one is. All right, Shirley, I'm gonna have to probably ask you to stop spamming in here because I might have to block you. But if you want me to review a specific trade, I can go ahead and do that. Or if you want me to review a specific chart pattern, but what you're posting right now doesn't really make sense to, I think, anybody. So just keep that in mind. Please don't unnecessarily spam in this group. And hello, Valeria. Thanks for posting. Aren't you supposed to be fixing your laptop right now? All right, cool. So let's go ahead and talk about this last ADA swing trade, and then we're going to be moving into the charts. We'll talk about some of the upcoming trading opportunities, and if you guys have any more Q&As, I'll go ahead and I'll ask those. So the last swing trade I want to review is ADA, and this was a cool 7.16%. I talked about this trade a little bit in the beginning, but the thing about this trade that was kind of it could have been so much better, and I'll tell you why. So we had more or less a double top right around here, and I was looking for a second breakout, and I had a sell order about 0.112 or something like that. So just a little bit more after this double top. I should have been more conservative, and I should have looked for an exit right around here. I was debating that a lot with myself, and it would have been a super nice like 14 or 15% profit if I did that. But what happened was we just had a huge crash, and this crash is where basically I was doing all the Litecoin trading, and it happened across most altcoins. We just had a huge crash, and after that, when we have a crack in momentum, I get a little nervous, and I know I think a lot of traders probably see that and see that there's chances for a reversal. Some shorts might start piling in, and that is when I was looking for a bit mean reversion, right? What is mean reversion? It's simply when you have a big dip, a lot of times the gap gets filled in. So I placed a ideal exit order right around here, and then overnight sometime I got executed for this trade. So that's kind of how this trade played out. I really didn't like that. We were up like 14-15%, and then we were negative like 2-3% for a little bit right here. So that kind of sucked. But overall, clean $200, $240 with a very small position size. I think, let's check what the position size was. Yeah, $3,562. So really not too bad at all. So this is, let me share something. So if you guys want to learn more about what I do every day when it comes to trading, I post on average 5 watch lists per day, Monday through Friday. I in real time document all of my trades. So every trade that we review today, you can see as they come out. You can review them on your own time. You also get access to my investing portfolio. You get access to the Discord private trading chat room, and you get access to all my chart patterns and the statistics behind them. So if you're interested in that, just click on any one of these buttons or check out enzo.com/start trading, and you can learn more about how to get access to all that stuff. But let me share with you guys one of my watch lists, and that is this morning's Monday watch list. So I do a little bit of trading recap in the watch list. I talk about the trend, specifically on Bitcoin, and then I have a few of my coins that I'm watching specifically, and just post some support and resistance. I typically as well post chart patterns in here as well, but right now it's all a little focused more towards support and resistance. And then the NEO, right now I have a swing limit order in place, so you can also see where my limit orders are, on what exchange, and what is I would say the buying, what am I buying this coin with? And in this case it's USDC, which is the Coinbase USD stablecoin. Let's go ahead and exit that. Exit this one. So let's just talk about BTC, and then we'll review Litecoin a little bit as well, and maybe NEO. But after that, we'll wrap up the video. Unless you guys have any questions, feel free to post them in the chat to the right, or leave a comment or something like that, and I'll get back to you as well. And I would love to include it, any kind of Q&As that come in late in the next weekly trade review, or just answer them in the comments below. So let's start with actually BTC USD shorts, and let's go over to the chart right here, and let's go on the daily. So you see me oftentimes talk about BTC USD shorts. I don't really trade off of it, but I like to acknowledge and understand what it's doing. And a lot of times when we come back to these support zones for the shorts is when a lot of the shorts will start piling back up again. So this is when shorts are covering, and then right here is when shorts are adding to their positions. In theory, that should be driving the price of the market down a little bit. So right now people are piling up their short positions, and if they actually cover their positions right now and we drop below the support line, that actually could be a big catalyst for having another bullish rally or bull run. So kind of an interesting thing to keep track of. So if this shoots down below this short support line, we might have a big short-term rally at our hands. Cool, so I'll finish up with talking about Bitcoin a little bit, and then talk about Litecoin a little bit, and I think we'll wrap up there. Thanks again for everyone that tuned in. I know there's just so much to talk about in these weekly trade reviews, but they're kind of a good way to put everything in focus, put everything in perspective, and plan for some upcoming trades. So there's one key line here that I'm really looking at, and actually it's not drawn, but you guys can probably figure it out on your own. And it's right here where we had this initial kind of rejection. And then again, we had a support bounce off of it. Then we had a collapse down it, right? We broke it. And then again, we broke above it. And then we used that as our last launch pad before we had this last rally to the upside. And I want to kind of bring our attention to this because this is where I'm looking to potentially enter some more trades, especially for altcoins. So right around this $7,500 level, I'm going to be looking for some swing trades and ideally maybe some day trades. So if we go to Litecoin, can we find a similar area for that as well? Can we find a similar line? And I would say yes. And I think that line is right around here where we had kind of the middle area. So we found a lot of support here, but I think there's a good chance we might break down from this area and have kind of a double bottom right here. And actually, I should probably extend this line to the body of these the resistance right here and just kind of move this line a little bit over here. And I'm also gonna go ahead and make this line full bodied because a lot of times my my dotted lines I'll use as more of my trend lines that are horizontal. So for my short-term day trading on Litecoin, I'm really looking for a potential crack on this this longer term support line and then coming back down here for a potential double bottom. And I would love a entry right around here. So I'm going to be keeping a close eye for that. Right now, I think we might have a bit of consolidation right around this point. I don't think we're just going to crash down, but you never know. So we're going to be ready for everything. So yeah, that's really what I'm looking for these two trades right now. And yeah, you know what? I'm going to end it right here because we're at 36 minutes and I love the fact that we are ending this live stream under 40 minutes. I think it's my first time ever doing that. There's usually just so much to talk about and I appreciate you guys for sticking with it, especially till the end. And I appreciate all the feedback and comments you guys give me as well. And I hope everyone has an awesome, amazing trading week. There's a lot going on and there's also a lot of progress with Trade Journal for anyone that is wondering. The Google Sheets that we use all the time for trading that many of you guys use as well. That is turning into a website so you guys can all document your trades online and it's going to be a lot easier user interface and it's also going to have a community aspect as well so we can see each other's trades and all that fun stuff. So there's a lot of work on that and I think you guys are really going to appreciate that that chat as well, so or that upcoming site as well. So that's kind of a big project that is taking up a lot of my time right now behind the scenes. So I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit about the progress and when potentially a beta version is going to come out, but there is no date yet for that. Cool, I'll end it with that. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in and I will see you guys in an upcoming video, probably Wednesday. And also, I will see you again for the next live stream, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Monday. So tune in for that and ask any questions, guys. I love questions. So till next time, ciao, ciao.